Moving to Colombia was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and this is a big reason why. Because they shut down one side of the highway every Sunday from 7 until 1, and I had to cross the highway to be able to get here. It's super noisy right now since I'm right next to the highway, obviously, so I'm about to go for a long run. I'm gonna do around 10 miles, and then I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, bien, ¿y tú? ¿Cómo
Sí,
vas?
bien, bien, sí. Estoy muy cansado.
Ah,
¿Cuánto cuesta?
tengo soda 4 Sprite o cerveza.
Cerveza. Oh, shit. Oh, no
Pero
sabía.
también- no, pero solo soda 4
Oh,
Sprite.
okay,
¿Qué
okay.
quieres?
Quiero eso, sí.
Sí.
Es muy rico.
¿Te gusta?
Sí, sí, mucho.
Wow.
I'm feeling absolutely dead. I ran 10 miles for the first time in a long time, but I got myself a vaso de fruta, so it's about to help me recharge really quick. It sounded crazier to me to stay in the US with my 9-to-5 job, doing personal training on the side, having my life be the exact same, versus coming out here with no plan, going into the unknown, just unsure of what it's gonna look like because of how out of alignment I felt in the US and how much it felt like it was lacking based on what I want out of life. So with me coming here, it just felt like the more logical choice, even though for most people they would say the opposite, because before I came here, there were so many people that were trying to talk me out of it, saying that it's too dangerous and that I shouldn't do it. But I just knew deep down that that's what I really want to do. One of the biggest reasons why I left the US is due to the lack of social cohesion and community. Because even though I would be around a lot of people every single day, it's a very car-dependent society. So people are either at home in their cars, or if they are out in public walking around, they're just on their phone the entire time. So it's hard to really build connections naturally with people when everyone's just in their own bubble, in their own world. Whereas here, everyone is just out and about, spending time with each other. They have smiles on their faces, they look happy to be here, and people actually acknowledge you. For that reason, it's a lot easier to have spontaneous interactions every single day when everyone just feels more alive, they're more present, more aware, and it just makes life feel like it's the way it's meant to be. Because like I said, in the US, everything feels isolated, it feels fragmented. But here, everyone just feels like one big family, if that makes sense. And it just feels so good to be a part of it, even though I'm a foreigner. People are very welcoming to me, and they treat me like I'm family too. They want to help me out, and they're very supportive overall, so it just feels great. But another reason why I left the US is because it just felt very repetitive. Every day felt the same, and you know, when you're younger, when going through elementary to middle to high school, going into college, your life feels like it's evolving because you're growing up. But once you graduate college and you enter the real world, the working world, then everything just kind of flatlines. Everything feels the same. And unless you're very passionate about your job or your career, then most people just fall into this trap of being forced to live for the weekend, and that's all you really have to look forward to because you don't like your job, and every day it just feels empty. There's no substance, there's no character, and you're just trying to get through the week just to enjoy 2 days in which you're probably going out to the bars drinking when you don't really want to be doing that because you want to be healthy. But you're doing that to outsource the feeling of not being connected to people, and that's the only way that you know how to make connection. So I found myself in that cycle a couple times in which I was going out to the bars way too often because I didn't feel that connection that I have here. Because since I've been here, I don't have that same urge to go out in that way because every single day feels alive to where I don't feel the need to do it, and it just feels great. Overall, I just felt like I wasn't growing in life because when you do the same thing every single day, when everything looks the same, when it's very familiar, it's very ordinary, and everything just feels stale. It feels stale and it lacks that substance that I'm talking about. And you want to be somewhere to where you have to shock the system, where you're in a state where you have to learn a new way of living. Everything feels novel, it feels new, it's rejuvenating, because that's how you learn more about the world, learn more about yourself, that's how you grow as a person. But if you're subjecting yourself to the exact same cycle, the same system that you grew up in, if you're in the same town especially, then it just inhibits your ability to actually grow and to know what you really want out of life. Because the best way to know what you're meant to do and what you really want to do with your life is to actually put yourself out of your bubble, out of your comfort zone, and just see what happens. I've been here for a little bit over a month now, and I've grown so much more as a person than I did the previous 2 years living in Orlando, Florida. And that just goes to show how you're a product of your environment, and when you put yourself out into a new setting, a new situation, a new way of living, everything changes, and you're forced to adapt, you're forced to acclimate, and just learn how things operate here, because everything is just so different. And like I said, it feels alive. It just feels like it has that character that I'm looking for, because not everything is pretty, not everything is convenient. Like, you have to really use your mind and be adaptable. You have to improvise, you have to think on the fly, because you're not used to the way things operate here. But that puts you in a heightened state to where you're more aware, you're more alert, and you're actually soaking things in. The last thing you should do in life is feel confined within your own country, within your job, within the system that you're in, and even within your mind. Because abundance truly is a birthright. And since I've been living here, being able to see the city, seeing the landscape, being a part of this community, it just reminds me of how much potential there is to experience more in life. Okay, so what is it like here in Medellin, and what am I actually doing? So I'm an online fitness coach. Like I mentioned earlier, I was a personal trainer on the side for about a year before I came out here to Colombia. Now I'm doing online coaching full time. I work pretty much 40 hours a week from Monday until Friday, so I treat it like a full-time job in that respect. But on the weekends, I have more freedom to come out to a place like this and to really experience life on a different level. Like I said earlier, everyone here is very friendly, very outgoing, very warm, and people are just out and about all the time. I also go to an outdoor gym called Unidad Deportiva. It's about a 5-minute walk away from where I live, and it's got an entire section of weights, a calisthenics area, soccer fields, basketball courts, a swimming pool, and even an archery range too. So it's fully equipped with everything that you need to stay in shape. And with me going to Ciclovia this morning, those are just a few examples of what you don't typically find in the US, and why I love it here so much, because there's a strong fitness culture. With me being an online fitness coach, I fit right in. So it just feels good to be somewhere where it's naturally beautiful. There's insane scenery. The people are also very beautiful, and it's very conducive to staying in shape, staying fit, because like I said, you're a product of your environment, and with me being here, it motivates me and inspires me that much more to be a great online fitness coach, to inspire others, and to just live life to the fullest. Whatever idea you have, whatever you want out of life isn't that crazy. You can't see it from a societal view. That is too extreme, it's gonna be too much, you're not gonna be able to handle it. Like, whatever you wanna do in life, you have the ability to do it if you just believe in yourself. And if you make a plan, you just choose your reality and you just go for it. You just have to normalize whatever you want out of life, and it'll come to you naturally. But the moment that you put it on a pedestal, you place overimportance on it, you blow it out of proportion just in general, it's gonna push it farther away. It's gonna be harder for you to attain it. The best thing you can do is just normalize it, have it within you, and just know who you are, trust yourself, and take that leap of faith. Whatever you guys want out of life, trust yourself, and it is going to work out.